What's up, everybody? And we are talking about a little movie called Cannibal Holocaust. Yeah, Cannibal Holocaust, guys. This is more up my alley. Let me just come out and say. But even then, I don't know. I'll talk more about it, how much is up my alley. But I'm definitely the horror fan of the group. And this is one that mainly I knew I would get enjoyment out of because Rodney immediately was like, we're going to watch this together, because he was scared.
No, that's true.
That's very true.
I'm not scared of it.
And I was excited to watch it because I knew I'd watch with everybody, so I kind of want to see everybody's reactions live. And if you don't know about this movie, this is a movie that has plenty of controversy around it, is known as one of the most disturbing movies of all time. And I have the uncut version. So I had to show it to him clean, how it should be, and pristine, how it should be. And, you know, it has real animal deaths on it. And there was people that thought the people in the movie, due to its found footage style, that, like, shit actually went down in this flick. Like, this really happened. But did it disturb everyone else at the panel? And this, let me middle off, I guess you could say, in saying, this one, we didn't do our normal thing for like our Friday reviews that sometimes come out on Saturdays or whatever. They're supposed to be Friday reviews. We did not do our typical write notes. We decided to knee-jerk reaction this shit since we watched it all together. So how did y'all feel about Cannibal Holocaust?
I'll say, as movie people, this is a movie that you feel like you need to watch. You don't have to.
I don't.
You don't?
I think
I've always, like...
If you're a horror fan, I still think this is a must-watch. It might be like how Josh is acting already. I think I kind of already have a gauge of what his score is. But, like, you could be like, God damn, I watched it, and I never want to see it again. But if you're a horror fan, like, this is an essential viewing. If you're a movie connoisseur and really want to see everything, or if you're a horror fan and want to see everything horror.
It's just
Is it even a horror movie?
It's
though?
just the
It is
lore
a horror
behind
movie,
it.
for sure.
It's just like the lore behind it. Like you
want to see what the hype is about. That's just you being weak-minded.
Is that what's going on? Y'all continue. I'm going to put y'all on the spot. Talk Cannibal Holocaust. We'll say
As a movie collector, it's one of the movies I'll say won't be in my collection.
I was about to be like, I'm definitely collecting this.
Yeah, I don't care to ever watch this again.
I don't want to ever see it again either, guys. This...
I don't know. I'll probably never watch it again either.
I mean, it was it was made well, but it was...
For the 80s?
Yeah, I mean, it was put together well, but it was just too
But the thing is this is like pure artistic freedom. So it is like, I understand what Tyler's trying to say on it's a must, it's a need to be seen for cinema purposes.
You want
because
to see what the hype's about.
How
like
much
Josh
different this movie is compared to other movies in the 80s and even in the 70s, you know, it just...
Even now.
Yeah, even nowadays, like you can never make this movie
Like
today.
back when Human Centipede came out, I was like, this is crazy. This is nuts. How did they get away with this? This is the worst movie I've ever seen. And then knowing this movie exists, you're like, what is this movie about? What is in this movie that's
Centipede 2
number
up
one?
There. But
Human
it doesn't feel as
Centipede
real.
is just
Centipede 3 at the
ridiculous.
prison?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, actually. I haven't.
Tom Six, the director, he's fucked up.
What happened
Yeah.
to Tom 5?
I don't know.
What about 4, 3, 2, 1 and go?
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the style of shooting was kind of cool. I kind of dug the whole found footage style of it. I hate the story of it.
Did you
because
like
it was
any
everywhere.
character?
No, I didn't like any of the characters. But the
think
thing
it was
is,
everywhere?
like, yeah, because I didn't even find out until halfway through the movie how like the timeline was playing out. Because at the beginning they were so quickly back and forth between the group of four. And
I feel like you've missed
the other
something.
group. I might have missed something, but I just
it's pretty straightforward. It's this group that starts off and they're like, we're gonna go to the fucking cannibal village. We're gonna film it. We're National Geographic. And then the next people are like, we're gonna go see where those people are because they disappeared, and then it cuts to them finding the camera and then presenting what they witnessed.
I get that at the end.
Yeah, I know, but like I felt that the whole way through.
You've seen it before.
Yeah.
In general.
I didn't know. So you see the 4 main people or whatever, the people who, spoilers, get killed, and then it goes to the group that you're with most of the movie. And I was wondering, what are these people doing?
That's where I was.
They did not explain that they're looking for the other people very well.
No,
it's like 2 parts.
Now I'm over
Part
here
one,
wondering
part
too.
two.
But I'm almost positive they brought it up like we're gonna go look for them, but it might have been as simple as like we're gonna go look for them. So as soon as like if you missed that one part,
we probably did. We were talking a lot in the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Then the movie's laid out perfectly.
Dude, the animal kills in this were fucking terrible.
Yeah, we had
that shit hurt, man. Honestly, it was the monkey.
The monkey
that hurt me the most, dude. Like
chopped off its
the
face.
turtle sucked. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
dude,
what was it?
Muskrat?
The muskrat was the worst to me, just because it was still alive. The monkey was quick and clean.
No, but it took like 4 chops though. And they chopped his head in half.
One chop.
They took his brain off.
Yeah, they didn't cut
and then he ate it.
Like the turtle was a clean 2 slices.
The turtle was the most gruesome, but the muskrat to me was maybe it's because it sets the initial tone. The muskrat fucks with me the most. It's like and you hear it screaming.
It was
the fact that it's screaming. I think is what hurts me. The monkey's just like, oh yeah, it's a monkey, but something about it just letting out pain, like as it gets stabbed and it keeps getting stabbed, that's what fucks me up about the muskrat, I guess. If that's even a fucking muskrat. I don't know what to call it, so I'm following you on this one.
It looks like an alien.
The thing that fucked with my head the most was the first girl that got raped, like that ritual thing. Yeah. That messed with me more than any of the animals.
It was rough. And I was surprised because we paused it so Tyler could move his truck. And
I got a truck, guys.
He does. Look at this guy over here.
License plate numbers.
It ain't even his truck, though. It's another truck. But he also does have a truck, so don't fuck with Tyler McBuck. Okay, we're talking too much. That's the thing, though, is like, I was surprised. I was like, okay, Josh, you were actually like feeling that, because I always have felt that too. There's something about that scene, and it feels real, that's very disturbing. And that's the thing about seeing this the first time. I've seen it before multiple times, but for the first time, I think you hype yourself up to a level that doesn't exist. And then you kind of calm yourself down a little bit, and then you get freaked out again because you're like, oh shit, maybe I like reserve myself, like, oh no, this ain't that bad, okay, I'll call. Oh shit. But if you can really like just feel what this movie can bring, and and have realistic grounded expectations, and or maybe somebody like Josh who isn't disturbed by stuff as much, I think that first like blow of raping is like, whoa shit. And I think that's maybe why it affected Josh in the way it did. So that's kind of cool that someone else got fucking wrecked by that. Or at least the most wrecked. I don't know if wrecked.
The animals were the worst part.
Yeah.
But everything else I could handle.
Yeah, because that rape scene to me was almost like staged.
Yeah.
It felt staged. And I know we talked about that a little bit, but dude, honestly, the third act of this movie was insane. The death of the 4 people, like they went balls to the wall. From that point on, it
feels real because of the documentary type.
Yeah,
footage.
Dude, the shit that they did, burning the village, raping the fucking.
You went from what? They don't need to die to fucking kill them.
Yeah.
Thank God they're dead finally.
Yeah. And that's where this movie, as graphic as it is, it's actually well done, made filmmaking. Just not even in the way it's filmed, but like there's moments where like you're like, damn, this movie kind of has another message to it, despite all the, what it's known for, the message is lost. It's like, want to watch a really fucked up movie, but if you watch it and aren't just like turn your brain off, like, oh, it's fucking sick, you can find something else in the midst of all this, which is something that gets lost in Cannibal Holocaust. Whether it's enough to get you over all the graphic, nasty depravities that go on, that's up to you. But there is something here that's lingering amongst the rest of the film that is interesting and does make you think a little bit. which is good because, you know, a lot of these movies that are just fuck up, True the Wool, oh God, no, it's fucking me up, don't have that. And that's one thing I will, without saying my score, I give this movie. I got to give it to it through and through. And I'm happy whether y'all like it or not. Sounds like y'all are like, fuck this. But the beautiful thing about that as a viewer before we reveal scores is even me who enjoys this movie, I will say that much at least, it is a movie where I'm not ready to necessarily turn it on again either. So even them saying, without revealing their scores, which I don't know as well, that they don't want to watch it again, it doesn't necessarily mean that they hate it. I don't know. Maybe they all hate it. But it could be one of those films where you're sitting there, you're stuck, and you're like, damn, like, yeah, I might not want to watch it again, but I'm glad I watched it at least once. So that's where it gets interesting.
I kind of thought it was going to be worse than it was, actually.
I'm in the same position.
But the animal kills, dude, it's just so fucked
the
up.
Animal
to kill
kills
the animals
lived up
for
the
just for a movie, man.
Well,
so
I mean,
I get it if you like need them to like
so that's
for
my
food
thing,
and
and
stuff.
that's why
but
animal kills didn't bother me as much as I thought. Because in that position, you're going to do that. So that's how I was kind of watching it. Where it becomes fucked up and where the controversy comes from is they just killed them to film the movie.
Yeah.
So when you think of it in that way, it becomes more fucked. But in watching the movie, I was more like, oh, they're needing to survive.
Right.
That's why
And
they're
that
killing
makes
it.
sense.
And it makes it a lot easier to watch that. But the raping of people, like even though that wasn't real, that's why I think that hit me
you
hard.
on
there's
a real
no
level.
good.
So I've only raped a couple. No.
3, that's too
I want
many.
to stop there.
Yeah, like literally.
Heads
Yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow, man. It's not for everybody, if anybody. But if you can stomach this type of shit, if you have not seen the movie perchance and you're watching this, there is something to pull out of it. But I mean, you got to go through some fucking grime.
Where do most people stand with this movie?
I think I had like a 60.
Do they like? Are they going to be mad at us for dissing it? Or are they going to be like?
No,
they're going to be like, I see y'all's point.
Like I said, I don't know
it's
where
not
this
for everybody.
I don't know where this will stand on our reviews, but these are the type of reviews
65
on paper that I always say we should be doing more of.
That's crazy.
Because it's not the Forrest Gumps. Everybody's done Forrest Gumps, and let's be honest, there's more bigger channels that are doing that
for a while.
But the people waiting in the wings for shit like this that not enough people are doing more of, but they have a cult following.
Yeah,
that cult following loves this type of shit. Now, I don't know how
this
this
might get our
video
most views for the last month or two.
It has 60,000 views. Yeah, I know. I don't know. We don't know how it'll go, but there's definitely fans of this movie that are waiting in the wings. They're just like, I have nowhere to go. Like, where are the reviews? And then they're on YouTube one day and they're like, let me look at Cannibal Holocaust. And there's only 4 people who reviewed it in the last year. And then we're one of them and it's like, oh shit.
Are any of the actors in any other movies? Did you know?
Other
Are they
Italian,
like actual actors, or are they just like, yeah, y'all make a fucked up movie?
I would imagine. See, dude, a lot of these people, if they're not like big names, kind of run together to me.
Yeah.
But there was a huge boom of these movies, dude. Like y'all were talking about Green Inferno, for example. Like Green Inferno is very tame compared to this.
Yeah.
In terms of how disturbing it is. I mean, there is some blood for sure, but something about the found footage style and the grainy, like, might as well be late 70s, early 80s style, really picked up around this time. And there's so many of them. And it's so crucial to what was important about horror at that time. So I think there's definitely a fan base looming around for this, but there's also a distaste of people that watch it, people that aren't even like big horror fans, like, that's not a horror movie. I watch horror sometimes. They watch this and like, what is this disgusting foul piece of shit? But there's definitely people waiting in the wings that are just like, hey, I love this shit.
Did you have something to say, Josh?
Like,
you started something and I cut you off.
They're not going to tune in to hear us talking about that no one else is reviewing. They're going to tune in to hear us talk about the movie. Do we have any other points on the movie we want to hit?
School.
Any favorite characters?
See, I didn't fall in love with any character. I didn't care about any of them.
Yeah, and I don't think that was this movie's point. Like, it wasn't supposed to. It was supposed to show you like a vile, like, peek behind the lens of like what
we
might
can get away
or
with.
may be going on out there. And I think that's what fucks you up. I talked about kind of during the movie briefly, is like it makes you think about how we are as people, like without, parents that raise us properly, or parents at all, we can become animals, do things that we see like in like America's hoods and things like that. But like even beyond that, like no parents, like your parents don't even know English or any language. They're just fucking like, and they're picking up mud and throwing it at the next guy like a fucking monkey. Like, this is like what we're capable of, and this is like a reality that is definitely a reality that like we could endure.
It's what people would resort to without law and rules and food.
Yeah, and it's like it's really scary, like not in the sense of the movies like, oh, this is terrifying right now, but it's, it might be terrifying to you because of like, holy shit, this is scary, but like it's terrifying in the sense of what we are capable of. Us four right here are capable of without structure. Like a structure is completely removed from the table. Take it off like this hookah right here and take a smoke.
One thing I did like, I'll say,
it's fucked up, dude. Makes you think.
Which I don't know if it was an actual place or not, was the tree people. Like that set design. I don't know if it was like legit or not, but that was like one of the coolest parts of this movie.
And
you ready?
I'm ready to see the scores, but if y'all are into this, there is definitely...
Brandon, you go first since we know yours is probably the high one.
I could
Unless
do that.
Rodney is...
Spoiler, no, I'm just playing. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10.
Damn.
His is going to be higher than all of ours.
I have always liked this movie, but the more I've I have a weird relationship with this movie. I saw it in middle school... And this was at a time I was watching like, Friday the 13th, Halloween, stuff like that in elementary school. And I was already like a huge cemented fan of that. But once I saw it in elementary, like I wanted more come middle school. A few years have passed.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I had to have more. At that time, I was still barely in the clutches of... that feeling of wanting more from the standpoint of
what can I see?
Yeah, like what can I see? What would my parents not want to watch? It wasn't even about the movie. It was like, what is out there and what am I capable of seeing? And I enjoyed it. Like, I watched it for the first time with a group of friends. Like, I watched it with y'all, and we were all like, oh my God, it's showing it. Rather than watching it how we watched it, where it's like, okay, it's a movie. Oh, it's fucked up. Yeah, oh man, that's a little much. Oh, but
you weren't critiquing it back then.
Yeah, but I do like it. But back then, it was like, they went there. Holy shit, it's crazy. It was really cool. And I became a big fan through that span of, rhymed unintentional, of like, horror movies that like showed the worst shit. And then as I got older and I kind of developed my taste, I grew to kind of have a distaste for these type of movies. It's like they're just showing violence for the sake of violence. It was gore for the sake of gore. This movie, though, as time went on, I grew to dislike it because I grouped it in with that. And I'm not even saying it's still worth watching. I'm not saying it's like a thing where you should, separate from this, this new way I'm thinking. But through nostalgia and watching it again, I had an appreciation for it more this time around when I watched it 4 months ago after, the 2 times I watched this in middle school. But it still isn't, I'll say, even a great movie necessarily, but the combination of nostalgia plus, the extra stuff I've pulled from it as I've gotten older and really embraced, it is a solid movie. It's not a bad flick. They really did something here. And like what Rodney said, the creative freedom, like you don't get to see shit like this anymore. It's a unique point of time where they kind of just did their own thing. And I have great appreciation for it. And the message, as I've gotten older, and the nostalgia, as I said, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I'm going to give it a great movie for what it is. And I'm going to give it its due for that reason. But I 100% understand why, like, most people would be turned off by it. But yeah, 100%. I'm going to do that.
Rodney, Tyler, you don't know your score?
So yeah, I guess I would kind of categorize this in the area with like Lords of Chaos and Gumo, movies like that. Those two being higher scores. I can't say I hated this movie because I didn't hate it. You know what I'm saying? I would probably sit dead even at a 5 with this movie because it's not one I'll ever go back to.
I gotta say, you were mesmerized by it.
Right.
Anytime I tried to talk to you, you were like, "Huh? What?
That's how I am. Like when I watched Gumo and Lords of Chaos, like I couldn't take my eyes off the screen, even though I was like disturbed, like by what I was watching.
Lords of Chaos.
But those two are better movies than this. So, yeah, I think I'm just gonna sit in the middle, just right there at a 5. I respect it for what it is. You know, didn't hate it, didn't love it.
I mean, this movie's it's put together well, but I didn't like the content.
Which is supposed to be a thing.
I know, but this is definitely not my cup of tea at all. If we weren't watching it together, I wouldn't have made it through just by myself watching it. I'm never going to watch this movie again.
Me neither. No, yeah, I mean, in 10 years, I've got enough of my food.
I didn't really. I understand and I see what they were doing. And I appreciate their efforts. Dude, this fucking blows ass. I'll give it a 1, dude. I hated it. I hated this. Fucking, dude. The animals, and then was the worst part, and then I mean I get it, but
it's all personal enjoyment, people.
I wonder how many takes it took to
that.
Get the right take on killing the animals.
So I read the monkey took
just
2.
one, probably.
Really?
They had to kill 2 monkeys, and that was the thing most people were mad about.
The first one wasn't like how. All right, go ahead.
God, this movie's so hard for me to score.
Yeah,
I can understand why some people appreciate it and like the movie. Like you all were saying,
That's
freedom
why I gave it a 1.
that they had to do whatever they want because you could never do anything close to this now.
Ever.
So I understand that, but like Brandon was saying, this is our personal enjoyment score.
I'm going to give it a -5.
I mean,
I think he's going to be at like a 4.
I'm at like a 3.4.
3.4.
That works.
I like Tyler said, I will never watch this movie again.
Yeah,
no intention.
I think we all agree on that one.
I wonder
if you want to see fucked up shit, watch this movie. I mean, it has everything in it.
I'm curious if y'all would have a similar score to me. I think it's huge. Like if I watch this now, because I don't really get into just graphic for the sake of being graphic. Even if there's the underlying tone of something else, it's not enough to surpass the graphicness. But it is if you watched it at a young age to understand. Because then it's not just like, oh, there's that. It's like, oh, there's that. I didn't even piece that. And then nostalgia. There's those layers. Y'all didn't get those layers.
No.
So it does make me wonder. Because like without that, I don't know there's no way I'd be scoring it an 8. Because it is definitely an unpleasant movie.
Basically telling y'all to watch it again.
No, definitely not. Y'all don't need to watch it again. I think y'all got what y'all got. It's just, it's funny how that works. If y'all grew up the same way I did with horror movies, I think it would be another layer. That's all I'm saying.
Love you.